Konnichiwa, good evening, everybody. My name is Noah Foster, and I'm just a simple man. And welcome once again to another NJPW Simple Take. I normally don't do these things during, like, I guess you could say the smaller type tours, but of course, this tour is set up for huge things. We're going to crown within, honestly, less than 12 hours, new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, potentially new six-man never openweight tag team champions, and we will get our cards revealed for the night of G1 Climax 30. Who will be the one? As our blocks have been revealed. With that, let me just go ahead and briefly highlight some spots of this tour, the teams of the tournament, the G1 Climax blocks, and my thoughts on the conclusion night. So I must say, I really respect how Uya Yamera, Yota Tsuji, Gabriel Kidd, they've really been taking it to these great veterans in Satoshi Kojima, Yuji Nagata, and also, of course, we've seen how much Gabriel Kidd has come into play during this Chaos versus Chaos faction warfare of the six-man titles, as he and partner on the other side, respectively, in alternate matches, Jota and Uya, they basically, their teams have picked up wins. Gabriel Kidd, of course, don't claim he's the best, because clearly he knows that he's not. He constantly has room to improve and wants to, but he just keeps looking like this. It's still a win. So take that, because it seems like there's a subtle rivalry between the LA dojo and the NJPW dojo boys, though it's still 2 against 1, in my opinion, over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling in Japan. But I digress. And we've seen a lot of back and forth, shared victories among the trio of our champions, and Yoshihashi, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroki Goto, as well as shared victories with Sho, Okada, and the very vocal Toru Yano. And we still have to wonder what's next for that guy. Desperado wants to go after that KLPW 2020 trophy again, but he might have Tag Team Gold also in his very near future, as he is now in the finals. With that, let me just go ahead and say this about the Young Lions. I really enjoyed this feuding. It really is pushing all three of these guys to their fullest. And out of these three right now, I honestly see Yota Tsuji breaking out first. I know Yamera has big aspirations, but he's constantly been losing. He says he has to become stronger. If he ever wants to take on the Kimura Suzuki, he's got to become better. Yota Tsuji, to me, has showed very much promise, and I believe he and Robo can have a very good match. I feel he's very close to breaking past where he is now. Gabriel Kidd, he's got moxie, but he still has a long way to go, in my opinion. And I think it's really gonna pick up when he finally gets to face, like he says, these boys 1-on-1, and maybe finally wakes up what he wants to wake up in Togi Makabe, who of course we've not seen evolve during this tour due to injury and other projects. So that's just my brief thoughts on the Young Lions. Now let me talk to you a little bit about, again, the Chaos thing. It looks like that show really has dead eye aspirations on getting the six-man gold, and he's willing to fight, honestly, Tomohiro Ishii 1-on-1 for it, too. As literally post-match, their last match, literally show locked in an armbar on Tomohiro Ishii. Can you call it friendly warfare? I guess in Chaos, it's all about being the best, and hey, if you have the gold, you are the better men right now. I mean, Kazuchika Okada right now, he's got this as a pursuit, but we can't just ignore the fact that all these men, they have one thing on their mind in Chaos, and that is the G1. We've heard in exclusives how Okada, he just wants to focus now on G1 Climax after losing something that he invented and wondering what Toru Yano can do with it, and maybe getting Toru Yano back. That could actually happen during the G1. Good Lord Almighty. We'll have to see about that. And then, of course, we have other people lobbying for their spots in the G1, like Tamaki Homa, who called out Naito. But again, he recently lost in a match where he tapped out to Zack Sabre Jr., so it's like Naito already believes that he's failed me. We also heard that Naito, he wants to get a piece of Sonata. As it seems, LIJ right now is holding more momentum against Bullet Club now with the gold, as Shingo and Naito and Sonata have gotten the best of the trio of Evo, Dik Togo, and Yojiro Takahashi. Yojiro Takahashi, he just wants to keep lobbying for being in the G1. He wants to take on Okada. Give him the opportunity, give him the chance. Of course, our blocks have been revealed, so I'm just highlighting some notes for y'all. But now, let's talk about what really this night's about, and that is the crowning of the 62nd IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. As again, we had a round-robin tournament of 4 teams that have been competing amongst each other. Scores were pretty close, and the matches overall were really good. I want to first talk about the tandem of Rizusuke Taguchi and Master Wato. They have no team name, but hey, even though they only got one victory, Master Wato got a little bit of redemption against Yoshinobu Kawamaro, who I still believe has his number in a singles match. In their match with Hiromu and Bushi basically took those two to school. Taguchi tried to do everything he could, but that team basically was carrying that match. And Ishimori and Gedo, they tried to go tit for tat with the antics, but in the end, Taguchi could not stop Master Wato falling to Ishimori's submission, as Ishimori was the one that really, in my opinion, carried the team and was the most oddball team here. And basically because of this, they were eliminated, as our last match with these teams was Taguchi and Wato taking on Ishimori and Gedo. So basically, it was Boilermaker here, and Bullet Club pulled it off. That team was eliminated. But also, Taishimori and Gedo, they were eliminated from the get-go. As their opening bout, they took on Hiromu and Bushi. Who knew you would see these two as a duo, by the way, considering what we thought what we might get at the G1 is maybe Hiromu in it. But again, the G1 is always focused heavily on heavyweight wrestlers. You gotta remember that. Anyway, Hiromu and Bushi have been very, very dominant in this round robin tournament, only falling to one team as Hiromu and Bushi, they have beaten the duo of Taguchi and Master Wato. Master Wato constantly getting better and better. Roshi Tensen really is just behind this guy. Believes very bright fades are in his future. I do too. I think his hair is fading though. And also, Hiromu and Bushi, they have beat this duo of Ishimori and Gedo. A little bit of revenge for Hiromu following Ishimori, who he says was just bottom line, stronger than him, but he's not going to make excuses. And clearly he wants Mr. Belt back, but he's got other aspirations right now. He eventually, that is his end goal. He wants that back. He's just curious to see what sort of champion Ishimori will be. Hiromu, Takahashi, and Bushi have made it to the finals with a score of 4 points. Ryusuke Taguchi and Master Wato, they are out with 2 points. Taishimori and Gedo, they're also with 2 points. And our finals will be the LIJ duo versus, called it since the beginning, the Suzuki-gun duo, as my boys, El Desperado and the heel master Yoshinobu Kawamaro, they pretty much did what they came in here to do. Sure, they got one loss. Master Wato got a little bit of one-upsmanship against Yoshinobu Kawamaro. But in the end, when it was a battle of heel versus heel, the Ishimori Gedo versus El Desperado Yoshinobu Kawamaro, where they used every trick in the book, both trying to use the referee, both trying to extract the low blow. In the end, Gedo falls to, of course, a bottle. And of course, a knockout blow after trying to get the brass knuckles on El Desperado, as El Desperado finished him off with Pince Loco, and El Desperado beat that team. And then, of course, in our finals, we got Hiromu and Bushi basically taking on each other already. And El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kawamaro, they got the best of them in very clutch action, I think. It was a very clutch, close match. I was kind of a little thrown off by that personally, but in the end, El Desperado and Kawamaro, they pulled out the win. I thought LIJ was actually going to beat them. So it seems that, again, our finals are set as these two teams, they're going to go at it again. Let's go ahead and talk about this main card. But before I do that, let me also talk about what they also announced during this tour. Ladies and gentlemen, our G1 Climax 30 is all set. We have 20 participants, 10 in each block, Block A and Block B. Block A, your all-star block, obviously. And Block B, the more so exhibition / exploratory surprising block that might surprise you with several matches. But they got some hard hitters here too. And can't believe that Hiroshi Tanahashi's not in Block A. Man, as my friend Cindy put it. Please follow my friend Sandy, by the way, on Twitter. Our participants are as follows. In the A block, we have Kota Ibushi, Jeff Cobb, Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii, yes! Shingo Takagi, the King and current never openweight champion, Minoru Suzuki, the Holy Emperor, Taiji, Tokyo Pimp, God's Wish, Yojiro Takahashi. The Switchblade is back, folks, as we got Jay White, and this one I know is going to roll some heads. The Aerial Assassin Will Ospreay. So we're going to really see how this is perceived by NJPW faithful. And overall, an incredible block. I could not be happier that Minoru Suzuki's in it. And again, folks, stay tuned. I will have a full, more in-depth look, bracketology, breakdown, and predictions for the finals, as well, of course, keep you all up to date with all the action to follow with G1 Climax as well. And stay tuned, of course, as the final show of New Japan Road that occurs in less than 2 hours will give us our cards for G1 Climax. So I don't know how far those cards will go, but we'll find out soon enough. And Block B, just to highlight that real quickly, Evil. Yoshihashi, he made it to the G1. Good on him. 12 years, and really things have picked up for him. Current 6-man heavyweight champion. That might change in less than 12 hours. And he's in the G1. But also a spoiler maker, Toru Yano. So I'm pretty sure some sort of KLPW 2020 match would be set up from who might beat him in this block. Keyword who. Well, it might be Kenta. He's back. Zack Sabre Jr. Hiroku Goto. Juice Robinson is back. Sonata and Naito. Think about these type of participants and the fact they're going to face each other in these blocks. It will just be block action, round robin action, okay? And again, I'll have more details on all this too, but I also want to just briefly bring this up. In case you're wondering why some of these foreigners from America and beyond are finally showing up New Japan Pro Wrestling, there was a clause that stated, yes, you could travel here, but you have to travel here by a certain date and be literally quarantined in a hotel room until the G1, which is why we finally got back in New Japan Pro Wrestling in Japan. Jay White, Jeff Cobb, Juice Robinson, and Kenta. Because as you know, 3 of these men have been involved in NJPW Strong, which of course has been recorded in advance. Now, whether or not we'll see Kenta with the IWGP United States Championship, only time will tell, because I'm pretty sure the show before the start of the G1 will be that match for that title. So stay tuned for more on that. And of course, please follow NJPW Strong. Now, let's go ahead and preview the final card for New Japan Road. As I said, we're also going to learn the cards for G1 Climax. I have to imagine it'll be the opening cards. I don't think they'll have like all the cards for every match to come. But let's go ahead and look at the match card for tonight, the final day of the New Japan Road. Our opening bout will have 6-man action as Tamaki Homa, sorry dude, Yuji Nagata and Satoshi Kojima. They take on Young Lion Trio of Gabriel Kidd, Yota Tsuji, and Uemura. With how combustible and competitive these Young Lions are, this should be a very interesting match. It's going to be really interesting to see more so who eats the fall, obviously, on the Young Lions team. But also, who's going to impress the veterans the most or impress the fellow Young Lion colleagues. You really wonder, though, this is going to be more like handicap, because I'm sure Gabriel Kidd is going to really be out here to prove a point against the NJPW Young Lion duo, who, might I add, fought that they believe he should join them versus working under LA Dojo. What do you all think about that? Do you support LA Dojo or NJPW Dojo? Do you have a preference? Goko versus Shibata? I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But clearly, I see the veteran trio winning here. I mean, Satoshi Kojima has won all of his matches with the Lariato against these Young Lions. Yuji Nagata has caused these Young Lions to tap out. And Homa, he's had mixed fortunes dealing with Chaos and Suzuki-gun, but this could be a big win for him, honestly, too. And of course, Kokeshi will make him happy. So yeah, I'm going with the trio for that. Moving on from there, we go into 8-man action as we have Golden Ace, who of course right now, they both are respectively saying teams on hold. We're going to focus on G1. As Ace New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Golden Star Kodabuchi, and their partners, Master Wato and Rizusuke Taguchi, they take on my boys in Suzuki-gun. Kasaninare as the King, Minoru Suzuki, and partners, current IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Dangerous Takas, in Taiji, and Zack Sabre Jr., and their partner, Dukai. Now, I think it's clear that we're going to see Dukai probably eat the fall here, because that does seem to be the usual case here. Should be a competitive 8-man tag. You wonder maybe if Master Wato and Taguchi, if they somehow impress, could put their names in the hat towards maybe a heavyweight tag title opportunity. Really change things up. Clearly, we know Golden Ace, they're not going to get another match for these titles. And I'm not just saying that because Dangerous Tekker has also said that as well. But hey, they already had a rematch too for them at Jingu Stadium, and they lost. Clearly, this match is going to focus more so on who can go into G1 Climax 30 with momentum. As we have 5 participants here in the G1 in this match alone. But looking at these teams, I don't bet against the King. I'm going with Suzuki-gun for the win. As of course, we wonder who steps up to the King. New Japan Pro Wrestling, bring me competition. Don't run. I dare someone to step up to freaking Minoru Suzuki for that title. Ishi, please. Anyway, moving on from there, our third match will be LIJ versus Bullet Club, as Los Ingobernables de Happongs, Tetsuya Naito, Shigeru Takagi, and Sanada, all 3 participating, by the way, in the G1 Climax. They take on Yujiro Takahashi, Tokyo Pimp, Dick Togo, and Evil. Clearly, Dick Togo is going to play very heavily in Evil's matches during the G1 and try to really get his score up maybe Evil can surpass the score from last year. And I'll give you some stats on that as well during my G1 bracketology breakdown and thoughts, predictions, etc. Later this weekend. Maybe Friday if I'm in the mood and awake. Anyway, looking at this match right now, LIJ's got all the momentum in the world, and honestly, I'm not going against them. I feel like LIJ is going to continue their momentum here. They just beat these three literally in the previous show. So I'm just going to simply say that LIJ will stand tall. They will all three fist bump, and it'll be mutual tranquilo respect. May the best man win in the G1. I honestly can't wait for Sonata versus Naito, because that's what Naito really wants. You honestly wonder if Naito maybe wants Sonata to challenge him for the double gold. Clearly, Naito wants somebody in LIJ to surpass him. That's always been his type of way, especially when he thinks about how much longer can I go. But he will go as long as he can, with Tranquilo. So yeah, LIJ for the win here. Which leads us into our title matches. The first one being, of course, for the six-man never overweight tag team gold. As current champs Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto, they take on Ren Omega, Kazuchika Okada, Toru Yano, and Sho. Now, I think this is more so going to come down to Sho versus Ishii based on what I've seen in recent shows and how driven Sho is as well in this new aspiration. And also, he's not involved in the G1. So, honestly, if he doesn't get this, what's he going to do? But again, Yoshihashi, a man that has fought 12 years to achieve this milestone. This is the first defense of the new six-man never overweight champions. Now, usually the defenses, they run around 4 or 5 times a year. And basically, they're pretty dominant. Unless you're that one trio from Bullet Club that I'm not going to name. And clearly, these guys are going to want to raise the values of these titles, regardless of either trio that wins here. But looking at the trios, looking at things to come. You got KOPW 2020 preliminary winner on one side, and you got Okada, who you know wants to go back after the IWGP Championship and separate the two titles from being one. And honestly, he's probably lobbying right now, if they're not going to separate them, just create one title and make it the ultimate championship in Japan. But with that being said, I feel like right now, and based on the fact that Tomohiro has yet to even challenge, or become IWGP champion, which still shocks me, I'm going to say the champs retain here by one way or another. It's going to be a very competitive match. Again, this was the finale of the freaking tournament, and all 6 of these men tore the house down. I think they're going to surpass that match here. But I sense that right now, this 12-year dream come true is not ending this soon. And Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroki Goto will retain the gold. Which leads me, I just hope Sho, he really shows out here. Good luck, Sho. Which leads us to the main event. Crowning new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Will it be Ticking Time Bomb Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi, representing LIJ, or will it be my boys in Suzuki-gun in El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kamaro, who I might add were former champions, held these titles for 304 days. They have the edge on experience, and they have one of the best championship reigns in forever. However, you have this aspiring, hungry duo in Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi. And Bushi has had a really rough year. But I'm going to keep it simple for you, because when I think about this match, I sense a bottle will come in play. I sense that they will go for the low blow attempt on the Suzuki side and a Gator Clutch roll up. I sense that Bushi is going to try and pull out the Poison Mist, which in the end has really pulled out victories and successfully defended these titles in the past. And I sense Hiromu is going to try and do everything he can at the risk of his own well-being. This is going to be a very competitive match. We last saw these two in Suzuki-gun in the finals of the Junior World title last year. They lost up to Roppongi 3K. But this isn't Roppongi 3K. This is LIJ. And this isn't the duo of freaking Bushi and Shingo that Kalomaru and El Desperado lost the titles to back at Wrestle Kingdom in what I believe was a triple threat tag match. And this is just going to be straight up standard tag team match for the gold. So my overall prediction to end this whole thing, do I see LIJ having all the gold practically once again? No, I don't. I honestly believe that Suzuki-gun is going to get the win here, and my pick is El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kamaro to have some gold alongside their heavyweight tag team championship partners and their king and leader Minoru Suzuki. I sense this is the year of Suzuki-gun, and I sense they will own Wrestle Kingdom, and I can't wait to find out how it goes for the G1 to build that. Casanina Suzuki-gun for the win. with that being said, that's all I have to say. So thank you so much for enjoying this simple take and preview and predicting and discussion on the New Japan Road finale. Again, it'll be held Corrigan Hall, September 11th, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 a.m. Pacific Time. We're literally less than 12 hours later, so I come to you 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday night, September 10th. You want to know more about me? Know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of ... wrestling. So, Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation, it's nfoster1916. YouTube channel, follow it, youtube.com/user/NoFoster210 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my ATW family on Twitter. Stay tuned for a live simple chat tomorrow, as well as, again, big breakdown discussion and bracketology and overall analysis and my thoughts to come into G1 Climax 30. Who will be the one? As well as a simple take on the conclusions of this show's event. So with that being said, support NoDQ, support WrestleJoy, because they like pro wrestling, and I like pro wrestling too. Support Voice of Pro Wrestling for all your statistical needs. Support Team All Elite, pro wrestling discussions. Just support wrestling, folks. It's at the heart of it, especially independent wrestling, forever. And as always, I'd like to close. Support wrestling outlets for big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, authentic, unscripted, unrestricted wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell to know the video goes live on this channel. I'll be live tomorrow night in a simple chat. So come join the discussion. Hit the subscribe button, help me grow this channel. Shout out to all 161 if this with me on this fun YouTuber Crazy Straight. It's not up anytime soon. There will be another episode of AEW Spark as well this weekend regarding the fallout to All Out and what I think is to come. So until the next video, I just hope you all, as always, take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families. Enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. Just find somebody or something that can connect with you and bring fun and joy to you as well. Wear a mask. Be safe. Be smart. Be realistic about life and the situations around you. Life is too precious to just let go to the side, okay? Especially because this month is also Mental Health Awareness Month, I believe, and I think that today was like National Suicide Prevention Day. I went through like some suicide prevention training too, and considering things I've heard recently and friends I've known stories for too, and I tell you, the thoughts that run through people's minds when it comes to maybe that being the end all, don't let them pursue that. Don't let it be real. Till the next video, I thank you all so much. I'll see you all after New Japan Road for a simple take. Then I'll see you for a simple chat. NJPW Bracketology, AEW Spark, and more content following that. Take care. Kukigenyo, sayonara.